If there's one company that everyone loves to hate, it's Adobe, and for good reasons. Adobe has made countless questionable settlements in the past that put them in hot water multiple times. But time and time again, Adobe has managed to climb out of these situations and rank 21st on Fortune's 100 Best Companies to Work For and rank number 1 on Indeed's top-rated workplaces. So what is going on? How does a company that was hated by employees and loved by customers completely turn the tables? On a fateful Monday morning in 2013, Adobe announced that they're no longer going to sell the Creative Suite software, as it moves instead to the $50 per month Creative Cloud and other subscription plans. Before this, they offered something called a lifetime license for the Creative Suite, which, if you bought one of these before the change happened, you'd have access to the software you bought forever. The final release for the CS came out in 2012, and after that, the company switched their focus entirely on Creative Cloud. CS6 was the last of the Adobe design tools to be shipped physically as boxed software. Adobe continued to provide a few updates to fix minor bugs for CS6, but in order to get the major updates, customers had to move to the subscription-only model of Creative Cloud. Now, in 2023, almost all major businesses and individual creators, including those who purchased the lifetime license, have completely moved to Creative Cloud. For Adobe, one of the biggest reasons to switch over to the subscription model was to provide frequent updates, and to make this possible, they also needed a recurring revenue stream, which wasn't very possible if you only get one chance to sell your product to a customer. This proved to be a big update on the financial side of the business, as since 2013, the revenue has only grown. But they did fall short on the main reason for the switch, which was to provide frequent updates. I mean, they did update their software. But in addition to fixing only half the bugs in the previous versions, it introduced countless more. And this went on for years and is still a massive issue in the community. Popular tools like Premiere Pro, Photoshop, After Effects, and Illustrator still have hundreds of bugs that often make them crash and have made me lose hours of work because of that. And another thing that people hate even more is how Adobe lures you in with discounted prices, and only when you decide to cancel after like a few months do you realize that you actually signed up for a whole year, and canceling now would require you to pay the amount for the remaining months. That's a dick move. But before all this drama, when Adobe wasn't making all this revenue by legally robbing people and customers weren't getting scammed, there was the other party that was going through a lot. I'm talking about their employees. The early 2010s was some of the most important times in the history of Adobe. This is when they not only changed their entire business model, but also turned their fan base around. In 2013, Adobe ditched their rank and yank system for the check-in system. These are systems set in place to measure employee performance, with rank and yank being by far the worst. On paper, it's very simple, basically ranking the employees of an organization from best to worst, and terminating the worst performing ones. It's based on the theory that by identifying and removing the bottom performers, companies can improve their overall performance. However, the system has been criticized for being unfair, demoralizing, and counterproductive. Unfair being one of the main criticisms for the rank and yank system, because employees who are ranked low may not actually be the worst performers. They may simply be in a department or a team that is not performing well overall. Additionally, the system can create a climate of fear and anxiety, as employees worry about being ranked low and losing their jobs, instead of actually working. After realizing this and losing many key employees, Adobe decided to finally switch to the check-in system. The general idea being that instead of a ranking system, employees and managers meet regularly to discuss goals, progress, and challenges. The system is also more collaborative, as employees are encouraged to participate in the discussion and to provide feedback to their managers. It is far less demoralizing and actually helps the employees perform better by not worrying about being ranked low. Of course, Adobe provides a lot more benefits like generous vacation times, childcare benefits, tuition reimbursements, but most of them still existed before the switch. However, the check-in system has proved to be the single most important change that kept the employees from quitting. This is also what helped push Adobe to the top of the lists. So yeah, Adobe went from this horrible workplace where employees constantly worry about being ranked low and being terminated to being one of the best companies to work for. But when it comes to the customers, it's a completely different story. From predatory pricing to unstable softwares, there are a lot of reasons to switch from their apps to, let's say, Affinity. because in 2023 you can find an alternative for almost all of the softwares that Adobe offers. And some of them are even free to use, like DaVinci. It's powerful and feature-packed, and many well-known creators have actually switched to DaVinci from Premiere Pro. But Adobe still holds the majority of the market share when it comes to selling creator tools. I'll talk more about this in the part 2 of this 2-part series about Adobe, so if you are interested in that, then please subscribe to the channel. I make short, informative videos just like this one, so if you like the sound of that, I would highly appreciate if you turn on that bell notification so you get notified every time I upload. And I'll see you in the next video.